Hello and welcome to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay, and today FFG have blessed us, our overlords have blessed us with an article, not for the specialists, but vehicles are confirmed. We are essentially getting a tank for the Imperials and the Landspeeder for the Rebels, an option out of the left field there. Before we discuss that though, do consider hitting the like button if you like this video at the end of it, and if you're not already subscribed, then sort your life out and please subscribe, as it really does help. So let's get into it. Let's have a look at them. The Landspeeder is a bit of an interesting choice, so we'll probably just look at that one first. Didn't expect to see this, but yeah, let me get that up because I was looking at it myself but not really looking at it with you. So yeah, the Landspeeder, there we go. Oh, what an interesting idea. When I saw this box, I was like, oh, this is going to be an interesting model. But when I scrolled down and actually saw the model, I was like, oh, damn, I really like that. So that's probably the ATST size base, probably, I think, which is interesting. There is a new base for the tank, but I'll get onto that in a minute. So I believe this is Ryder. This pilot, I'm not 100% sure what he does. I think he lets you increase and decrease your moves by 1. So if you've got a compulsory move, you could decrease it, and if you just want to go faster, gotta go fast, then you can increase it, which is interesting because it is a speed of 1, so you have to do a compulsory move with this. That pilot though, yes, it's Rebel only, can go in the Airspeeder. And there is a second pilot there, which is also probably going to be able to go into the Airspeeder. Whether or not those will be perfectly balanced so that, the pilots aren't just automatic includes, or they actually make the Airspeeder worthwhile without being too good and all that kind of stuff, without making the Landspeeder being too good. Yes, we'll have to wait and see. So the Landspeeder itself, it's 75 points by default. Armor 2, which considering armor just cancels all blocks, all normal hits, armor 2 actually cancels 2 normal hits, which makes it, it's like you can only crit, you have to crit it unless you roll more than 3 hits, if that makes sense. But the fact that it's also got cover really is going to make that quite a complicated, like, mathematical thing to do, I think, but definitely worthwhile having. So armor 2, you get to cancel 2 hits. Cover 1, you're in cover unless something negates it, so you might actually be able to cancel 3 hits in theory. 6 wounds, 4 resilience value, which is interesting. It's got defensive surge and offensive surge, and it's got white defense dice with armor though, so that's fine. Now, another interesting part to these are transport vehicles. So this can transport 1 model, not a unit. It says specifically, I'm fairly sure, 1 model. So you might want to put maybe somebody like a Chewbacca on there, get him on there, get him up the field. I think Luke is probably unlikely. The one thing that we don't have here is how to embark and disembark. I'm going to presume that you can deploy in them, but getting off them, I'm not 100% sure how it will work. Either it will be a full action, either it will be a full turn, which will suck, or maybe 1 action, which will be okay. So we'll have to wait and see, but the fact that the transport vehicle's very interesting. So we said it's speed of 1. Now you look at the weapon choice and you're like, it's Arsenal 3, and it's got 2 white dice at range 1 to 2, and that's because there's extra weapon upgrades, which are basically, well, there's a weapon upgrade that you can see on the front here. Hopefully you can see my mouse, I'm not 100% sure if you can. There's a weapon upgrade, and then you can add additional people, so they're going to be interesting to magnetize. I'm actually looking forward to doing that already. They're going to be very interesting to magnetize. I like the little plexiglass thing that we're going to get. I would presume that's going to come with the model. I'm very intrigued to see how that actually looks in person. But that Arsenal 3 is going to be because you've got extra guys. Now, the interesting thing is, if you have, let's say you put Chewbacca on there, can Chewbacca shoot whilst he's on there and add it to the Arsenal 3, adding his keywords? So very, very, very intrigued. A bit of me sort of curious what happens if you put Chewbacca in there, and then the layer card that lets you combine Chewbaccas with that. I presume you can't use everything from the vehicle, but whatever. They are heavy, so they are heavy support. Heavy, yeah, what they call it? Are they called heavy support? I think they are. So full on, not it doesn't take up the ATRT slot or anything like that. So And the weapons there, we can sort of make one that's 1 to something, 2 to something, 1 to something. But that last one there is 1 to 4 with impact, fixed front, and an ion 1. Very interesting. All in all, it's very interesting. Now, there isn't much else. They don't give us a full reveal of the card, so there's nothing else to really show you. The 3D render looking very nice, and that model there in that shot, I actually think looks really, really good. I really like it. And that's it. That's the Airspeeder, the X34 Landspeeder, not the Airspeeder, Jason. I'm excited. Can you tell I'm excited? I love it. Oh, man, I'm just excited. That's the Landspeeder there. We'll need to see the full rules and all that kind of stuff, but very interesting indeed. The pilots could be a very welcome addition for the Airspeeder. Now I need to remember Airspeeder and Landspeeder. And then we're going on to the heavy hitter itself. Damn. So this is the the full name of it is the TX-225 GAB-W Occupier Combat Assault Tank. Yeah, okay. It's a tank in it. I don't know what people will end up calling that, but now this one's very interesting. When I saw this model, I was like, those crates are a bit weird, but I guess it sort of makes sense because it's a transporty kind of tank. But then you realise you could take them out, and this next shot makes me think, I wonder if you're going to be able to deploy them. Maybe they're going to restock ammo or something further on, or maybe even provide light cover. Maybe you can just throw them on the ground with a unit or something. But who knows about that? I definitely don't know about that, so I'll just skip on with my life. But the base is completely new. I don't think we've ever seen anything like that. It's a completely new base. A bit of me would have liked it to just not had a base, but whatever, it's there. And yeah, so this one is 155 points, and that pilot there has tactical 1, which means when you perform a standard move, you get an aim token. Wow, that is pretty damn decent. Now, also another thing. Oh, there's so many new things here. It's crazy. Red defense dice with armor. We've not seen that before, so that's going to be very intriguing to take down. Somebody in the Discord, and I won't say his name, has already coined the phrase the Palp Mobile. I sort of wish I got there first. I may be the first, on YouTube. So, but I didn't come up with it, so I can't really take credit for it. But the Palp Mobile, because it's red dice with armor. Now, technically, that's Palp has got the 3+ save with a red defense dice and surges to defense, but oh yeah, I never mentioned it. Oh, this really important part as well. When you take a wound, if you're in the vehicle, so if Chewbacca's in the vehicle and the vehicle itself takes a wound, the character or that unit takes a wound. So that's not ideal, and in some situations you probably don't want to do this. So with the red defense dice and armor, that's almost going to be increasing almost everybody's save apart from Boba Fett and Palp. But you still might want to do it because even with armor, it's actually still pretty good, if that makes sense, unless you're against impact. But yeah, this unit can take a full unit in it. It's transport 1 open, but this is, what did I say? I can't read that first word, but basically this means, it's limit transport 1, whereas this is transport 1, which basically means it can take a unit instead. So yeah, you could put in a full unit of scouts. You can put Vader in, you can put Palp in, obviously, because they still class as a unit, but you can only do one of them at a time. You can't have both in. And the full unit, you could maybe put in the Death Troopers. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe the Royal Guard if you wanted. But yeah, you can put a full unit in there, and it's most likely going to be increasing their save. Armor, we said Arsenal 2, and it comes with 2 weapons built in, but you can obviously take an extra weapon if you like. And that first weapon is suppressive with a fixed front red and black, and the other one is range 1 to 4, impact 2, 2 red, 2 black. Pretty decent. 155, 8 wounds, 6 resilience. I like that 6 resilience instead of it being something like 5. I think that's pretty decent. Overall, I think this tank might be more useful as an offensive threat rather than a transport unit. But you might want, if you've got a super important objective you want to get to, you might want to put in a scout unit that's got white defense dice. So, so possibly some useful stuff there. The problem is if you've got a unit inside it, it then becomes like a double whammy for your opponent. If I shoot your vehicle and I injure not only the vehicle but what's inside it, I'm getting a 2-for-1. So it still becomes, I think that's why it's probably quite balanced in that sense. So I think it might be okay, it might not. We need to see it, basically. But yeah, there's some extra weapons there. We don't really learn what they do, so I can't really talk about them too much. As a model, I really like it again. I think I'm probably going to magnetize the back so I can take those crates on and out, or put them on. And then, you know, you can just imagine whacking Palp on the back there, you know, and now you will die. Oh, my impressions are getting worse by the day. But all in all, really exciting. 155 points. It's a bit high. Maybe I would have liked to have seen it at 140 and balanced it around that. But I think it might be pretty decent, so we'll have to wait and see. Either way, we are getting the TX252 blah 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 tank. We're getting the tank, and we're getting the Landspeeder. So all in all, pretty decent. I think the models look fantastic. I'm very happy about it. Hopefully, I've not completely ruined any of the. I've not like completely misread the rules and not missed anything obvious. It's very weird when I get this. I get very excited. I'm just like a child. I'm like at Christmas. I'm like, ooh, new stuff. Yes, interesting. So, I didn't even talk about the release. Let's just have a look. I won't go back on the screen fully, but I presume this is going to say Q2 is what I'm expecting, and it does. It says second quarter of 2019, which makes sense because we've got the specialist next week, Jin and the Pathfinders, then in Feb, and then in March, Krennic and the Death Troopers, and then probably then in April we'll have the Imperial tank, and then in May we'll have the Landspeeder, which then sets an interesting scene because I was believing that we'll get the Clone Troopers, the Clone Wars in September-ish, which would sort of leave just enough room for another triple set of expansions. What could that be? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, very happy to see that. Very interesting set of releases. More vehicles. I think it was sort of needed. We'd had a lot of troopers. Now we're going to get a vehicle. We don't need another vehicle for a little while. Jobs are good and fantastic. Happy about that. So as I said at the start, do like and subscribe if you've not already done that. Join us on Discord. One of those Discords, the one at the top, is the one is ours, and I'm on it quite a lot. I mean, even Katie's on it, but she doesn't really reply because she's rubbish. And Facebook, they're pretty decent places to join us and have a chat. Thank you very much. Have a most beautiful day, and goodbye.